Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Curry, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. I got a guest today, and this gentleman is been amazing. He's part of Reignited Man, and I just invited him on so we can have a conversation. So hopefully, you can enjoy this episode to see his journey to getting some success in his relationship, and just as a way of inspiring you guys on your journey as well. So I'm just going to invite him on now. How's it going? I've just done the intro, so
Great.
I'm just just wanted to get you to talk a little bit about yourself, about your relationship. I've not mentioned your name because I know maybe you might want to keep it private, but I just wanted to give you this opportunity to just talk about your relationship and the journey that you've gone so far to change things around. So, the stage is yours.
Well, we've been together over 20 years now. My daughter's 19, and we got married about 11 years ago. So, and then everything was great. Everything's been great up to then. And then the last few years, things have just like started to go downhill a bit. Uh, Not really sexual at all. Dressing baggy clothes and things like that. Just like what most guys go through. But then people just think it's normal, but I don't think it is. It shouldn't be normal. It's, uh,
Yeah.
it's
So
like,
I mean, so things started going a bit downhill, uh, what was your first reaction to it all?
my first reaction was just doing all the normal stuff, like dressing better, trying to see if there's anything I could do, helping all the time, helping her, asking if she needs anything doing, just like trying to keep her happy.
Yeah, because I think that's the thing is online right now. You see that if you asked how do I get better relationship with my wife, you get all this advice about you need to do more around the house, you need to do more stuff, and even though it sounds like good advice, uh, did did that help your relationship in any way?
No, no. She, it felt better for a while. It was just like it was like she was happy. She was all happy all the time. It was like there's no affection with that happiness.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's
Yeah.
well, that's the thing that I found that generally most of the times is that when you do stuff, especially when you do stuff around the house, and the mood would change, but for some reason it doesn't translate to then change into something sexual. So she could be happier, she could be a bit more friendly, but sexually it just becomes even more distant. Was that the same for your relationship?
Oh yeah, that's definitely the same. That's how it was. The boys, oh, you've done this. Oh, thank you, and like patting the heads and things like that.
Yeah, I know. And I'm laughing because I was in the same boat. I thought, oh, let me do more, and then it didn't matter how much I did. Um, it never really changed anything. And I thought, what is going on? And it didn't make sense to me because I'm thinking all these people say, do more date nights. Did you even try? Did you try date nights, by the way,
I've
as well?
tried date nights. I've done date nights. Yeah, taking her out. We go out for a meal, go to the pictures, do something like that, and then come home and just leave me sat there. What?
No, it's crazy because it's strange because I speak to several people usually, and it's pretty much almost the same story. That I do date nights. I try and be romantic. I try and cook dinner. You know, I never miss the occasions like anniversary, birthday. I try and do something special, but nothing is changing. So in terms of things changing. We met up, and then we started talking. What has been the biggest lesson that you've learned in order to start changing your situation?
I know you don't like the term, but being a bit more alpha, being a bit more stand. I stood up to her. She was saying things, and I was just saying, no, this isn't happening. This is not the way it is, and like telling her how it was. And then she's like, oh right. And then she's just starting to take note. I noticed she's starting to take note. I noticed a glint in her eye. She has this glint in her eye when I'm doing something like alpha and standing up to her. Like she pushes me buttons. She pushes my buttons all the time. She knows how to push my buttons. And then I just say no. And then she's like, she gets this look in her eyes, or like, there he is. It's like she's
That's
looking for something in me.
that's amazing. So I'm guessing it's you've just got better at dealing with um uh so whenever there's any challenges, instead of you sort of taking a weak frame where you're waiting for her to make decisions, you're more decisive now, and she likes the fact that you're becoming more of a leader within the relationship.
Yes, yes, that's it exactly. Yes,
And I know the people that are listening might not know, but you're very good because we'd have a conversation, and then I would say, can you? I want you to try and do this, and within a day you've already implemented, and it's always been amazing to hear your reports because all of a sudden that's why a lot of things have happened pretty quickly for you because you're very quick to implement any of the things that we're talking about because a lot of it is quite challenging when you were doing all of that stuff. Did you feel I would imagine you felt uncomfortable doing it because it's something new to you, but
yeah.
what made you persist? What made you think is the right thing to do?
Like I said before, I first started being like that, it felt like I was being a little bit fake, and
Yeah,
I felt like I was like talking down to her.
yeah.
I was like putting it down and things like that. But she just like, I saw that look in her eye, and I'm like, oh yes, that's I'm doing something right here. So it's
Yeah,
just like snowball from there. It's just like, whoa, where's this girl come from? And then she's like coming back to me,
and it's that
like my wife's
craving.
coming back to me. Yeah,
It's that craving because recently I was reading a book where it says most people are always waiting for a leader, and I would put
yeah,
our wives in that same bracket that they want us to lead. They want us to take the lead. And I know people put words like alpha and so on, but generally a lot of and I mean alpha is probably a good term for it because if you look in the animal kingdom, there has to be somebody who's alpha, and we tend to sort of take a back seat. So yeah, when you become alpha, it consists of really taking that mantle as a leader, and when you do, she feels better for it in the relationship because you're taking the lead, and you've been very good at that. In terms of um, some of the things that happens, because I'd imagine that when you took the lead, you saw her beginning to change. You started having a bit more frequency in sex. There's a thing called reclaim. We call it reclaim. So she feels uncomfortable that, okay, we're not having more regular sex. I need to go back to where I felt comfortable where there was no sex. How did you deal with that in your relationship?
well, uh, you know that happened because I came to you and I
Yeah.
said I didn't know what's happening. She's like all over me one minute, then the next minute she's like standoffish and like not uh, initiating or anything like that. I'm like, oh, what's happened here? And I talked to you, and then you said about the reclaim, and I thought, oh right. So I decided like just up the game and just like step back even more, not touch her, not do anything, and then she just came back to me again,
No, that's
and
that.
then
Yeah,
she's
that
like,
was amazing.
oh
That was amazing because it's that concept that we're talking about where you remove proximity because sometimes you become too available and then when you're too available, you lose value. It's kind of like what we say is that when you give yourself too much, she then doesn't see the value because you're she knows she has you, but when you take yourself out of the picture, it makes them want to chase. So it's almost like you're flipping the script. Before you were chasing, and then all of a sudden when you
Yeah,
stop chasing, she feels like she needs to chase. So yeah, absolutely amazing.
that's it exactly. I used to be like all touchy feely all the time,
Yeah,
and now I just like just touch her on the arm or something like that and talk to her and lean back and speak to her, look her right in the eyes and everything you teach. I was just like, and you can just see her change, and she like just looks up to you more. Her eyes, she did this little thing where she looks up underneath her eyes like that, and that's that's when the little girl comes out to play.
that's amazing. So in terms of your future for your relationship, what are your plans going forward?
Our plans,
Yeah,
just keep it going where we are. Uh, Everything's good at the moment. It's like, I got my wife back.
that's amazing.
Obviously, the frequency isn't like I'd like it to be, but
Yeah.
no, this,
Yeah, especially I mean to be fair, I think it's for all of us, even for me. Our frequency, to be fair, is at least once a week, but I prefer more, but logistics and work and everything comes into work
yeah,
into play,
yeah,
so you just have to get what you're given. but like I absolutely appreciate you. You, you've been absolutely amazing inside the program. You always ask very good questions. Sometimes I might not even know the answer straight away, and then I say, "Okay, I need to go and think about it. I'll speak to you next time we speak." And then when we do, and we always find a good solution. So, you've been absolutely amazing. Is there any sort of advice you've got for the other guys that are listening today?
just to listen to what this man says. He knows what he's talking about. He's very dialed in, and he takes everyone's unique circumstances into consideration. Like some certain gurus out there, they'll just tell you a cookie cutter way of doing things, but that it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. You've got to take each individual case into consideration.
Yeah, that's actually spot on, because I think that's the big problem with a lot of people right now, especially in the guru space, is that they do this thing where they put you all in a bunch, and then they'll try and coach you in one go. It's good for them. It's easier for them, but it's not good for the individual, because your wife is unique compared to the other person's wife is unique. So within the program, all of you guys that are all 10 of you guys, all your wives are unique, and I can cookie cutter some of the stuff for you guys. Okay, you need to be like this, you need to be alpha, you need to be doing these certain things. But for your wife, in order to um, we call it behavioral dynamic. So, it's that behavioral dynamic where you have to change to suit her. It's going to be very unique to you, and or in your situation. And I cannot, what I give you in terms of advice is different to what I give somebody else, and that's what makes it more
Mm,
powerful. And especially the fact that it's taken you X amount of years to get to the situation where things have got stale. In order to
yeah,
make it moving, it's going to take you the same amount. So like we were saying before we got on to here, that if you spent a few years eating rubbish, and then you've got fat, and then you now want to change it, you're now going to the gym, you're now eating well, it's going to take you a little bit of time before you actually get back into shape. So it takes time, but you also need somebody who's coaching you specifically for your situation. So yeah, it's absolutely good point, and thank you very much for putting that out there, because it's one of the things that for those people that are looking for coaching, and they have to consider that, you know.
yeah.
But I'm curious about you. So, outside the relationship, how do you feel about yourself now? What's the feeling that you have?
I don't feel different. I feel amazing. I'm looking at other people in the eye. And other people are looking at me, and I'm getting attraction, like you said before. You can get attraction of other women, and it's like, oh right. Like before, I wasn't that. It was just like dead looks, and like now I'm getting like looks of other women and people looking at you. Even like my workmates are like looking at me different. People starting looking up to you that didn't look up to you before.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. I love your story, and I love exactly how you've um, transformed and transformed everything that you're doing. So we're going to bring it to an end here, and I'm really want to appreciate you for coming on and giving some advice to the guys. And I feel like it's going to be very cool for us to bring some of the guys inside the program just to have a conversation, see if some of the other guys, just to show them that there is light at the end of the tunnel. You don't have to suffer by yourself. There is a nice way of actually getting things changed and um, enjoying your life and becoming a better version of yourself. So thank you very much for coming on. If you've got any last words, you can say them now, and then I'll end the recording.
Thank you, Kiri. Everybody, listen to this man. He knows what he's talking about.
Thank you very much. You're very kind. So take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.